I like some of what he says, but I think he goes a little bit far with what he says.
What about this new stuff that came out about him calling himself a black Nazi on a porn site? Have you learned?
No, I haven't heard that, but that's kind of hilarious. Excuse my French, I'm sorry.
Just what happened with Mark Robinson over the past few days, this news cycle about calling himself a black Nazi on a porn website, allegedly going in there and saying that he likes transgender porn, things that are sort of unseemly in politics. Does that bother you at all?
TYT visited Wilmington, North Carolina, where Trump supporters gathered to watch the former president campaign over the weekend. But how do these Republican voters feel about their party's gubernatorial candidate, Mark Robinson, who referred to himself as a black Nazi and disclosed his affinity for transgender porn on an adult message board called Nude Africa? We'll get to their reactions in a moment, but it's worth revisiting that explosive CNN report from last week that discovered Robinson's musings from a decade ago. The comments he made on the Nude Africa message boards dated back to 2008 and went through 2012. His username was Mini Soldier, and he even referred to himself as a perv. Publicly, he calls for the arrest and mistreatment of members of the transgender community, but he admits to loving transgender porn. I like watching blank on girl porn. That's blanking hot. It takes the man out while leaving the man in. And yeah, I'm a perv too. While he campaigns on an anti-abortion platform and says he supports so-called heartbeat bills that ban abortions after 6 weeks, he shares how little he really cares of the issue online. Writing as Mini Soldier on Nude Africa in December 2010, Robinson said he did not care about a celebrity having an abortion. I don't care. I just want to see the sex tape, Robinson wrote. He also wrote about spying on women changing when he was a 14-year-old, something he clearly fantasizes today about. Robinson graphically described his own sexual arousal as an adult from the memory of secretly peeping on women in public gym showers as a 14-year-old. Robinson recounted the story as a memory he said he still fantasized about. I came to a spot that was a dead end, but had 2 big vent covers over it. It just so happened it overlooked the showers. I sat there for about an hour and watched as several girls came in and showered, Robinson wrote on Nude Africa. In the wake of that damning report, a bunch of Robinson's top campaign staffers resigned just weeks before the election. On Sunday, the campaign issued a statement revealing the campaign manager, finance director, deputy campaign manager, and senior advisor have all resigned. And today, Mark Robinson declined offers from supporters to enlist tech experts that could help exonerate him. Seems like what any innocent person would do. So with all this in mind, let's see how Trump supporters feel about him as a candidate for governor. One Swiftie for Trump gives us a pretty shocking answer. Take a look.
Calling himself a black Nazi inside a porn website and saying that he likes transgender porn, right?
Yes, right. Yeah.
So you're not buying that?
No, I'm not.
If it came out as true, would you still vote for him against Josh Stein?
I mean, yes, I would. But I just don't think it's true though. So
no, I was asking in the hypothetical. You'd still vote for him even if it was proven true and he came out and admitted it. You'd still vote for him.
Yes, I would, because I don't like Josh Stein.
Okay. Other Trump supporters don't care about what happens behind closed doors, as long as the candidate delivers on what's important. Take a look.
You know, even Donald Trump said some things that we all didn't agree with and didn't like that he done. But hey, he's the front runner for the next president of the United States right now. So I'm more concerned with Mark Robinson's policy than I am with his, kinky sex life or whatever he, done.
But not all Trump supporters are willing to go along with Robinson simply because he's a Republican and has the endorsement of Donald Trump. Take a look.
Will you still vote for Mark Robinson for governor?
A little more research got to go into that because it's so...
If it turns out to be true, would you still vote for him?
Absolutely not. No, I'm not about that.
Are you aware of the investigative report about Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson?
I am.
How does that affect your vote in that race?
The jury's still out on that. You know, CNN isn't the most reliable source, but I do know that he has some issues. And so we'll have to wait till I get in the ballot box into the...
You're the only juror in the jury, I'm asking.
Yeah. I just haven't made up my mind at this point.
If it all does turn out to be true, would it be hard for you as a woman of God to vote for him?
It would be hard to vote for Josh Stein.
Finally, one Trump supporter seemed to understand the issues of putting party over country. Sort of. Take a look.
What do you think of Mark Robinson here?
I don't know.
Do you think Trump should pull his endorsement after what was revealed?
I don't know whether to say yes or no on that one, but we're going to find out. It may be misinformation. It may not be. I don't know.
If it turns out to be true, would you still vote for Robinson?
If it turns out to be true, I'd have to. I usually vote the straight Republican ticket, so he would be in there. You know.
Do you think America would be a better country if Democrats didn't vote straight Democrat and Republicans didn't vote straight Republican?
Could be, yeah. Where we come together. Yeah.
Do you think Trump can bring us together?
I hope so.
You think Vice President
once?
You think he did it once? Are we together now?
Yeah. Well, we're still divided as far as Republicans and Democrats.
Do you think Vice President Harris could bring us together?
Hell no.
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it.
Cenk, what do you make of this?
Okay, so there's a lot of funny parts of this, but also very disturbing parts. Now, when you call yourself a black Nazi, you could take out the black part. He just called himself a Nazi. And so two of those people said, yeah, but Josh Stein, if you don't know, happens to be Jewish American. So they're saying, I'd rather vote for the Nazi than the Jewish candidate. We got problems in this country. We got significant problems in this country. So look, first of all, let's just keep it real. I get it. They don't like the Democrats, and I don't like Republicans. Okay, so I always think shoe on the other foot, right? So okay, what if we found out Colin Allred happens to be black? He's running against Ted Cruz in Texas for the Senate seat. I loathe Ted Cruz. So if Colin Allred did the same exact thing that Mark Robinson did, I found out the same exact things about him. Calls himself a black Nazi. He says, "Oh, I wish we could bring back slavery so I could own a couple of slaves." And before this even came out, Mark Robinson said that you should kill your political opponents. How are we still having this conversation? He said that that the Holocaust wasn't real. I mean, how are we? That was pre-controversy. Like already, all the things he said were lunatic, total freaking lunatic statements. If Colin Allred had said one of those things, let alone all of those things, would I say, well, yeah, but on the other hand, I don't like Ted Cruz, so I'm going to vote for the Nazi? No, I would never do that. I hope you would never do that. And it doesn't mean that you have to go vote for Ted Cruz, but I'm certainly not going to vote for a guy who calls himself a Nazi. I'm certainly not going to vote for a guy who says bring back slavery, okay? Or kill your political opponents. That's not that high a bar. That's like the lowest bar ever. Will you not vote for a Nazi? And we asked them, they couldn't clear the bar. So this country is in a lot of trouble. And now let's acknowledge this. Easy to excuse it. Oh, he's got a kinky sex life. I don't give a goddamn about his sex life. This has nothing to do with that, nothing. I'm not interested in what kind of porn he was watching. I'm interested that he talked about bringing back slavery and being a Nazi while he was on the porn site. That's the relevant part. And finally, and Jordan, you know this, everybody watching this knows this. And unfortunately, it happens a little bit on the other side for sure as well. But it only takes one thing to confirm your bias, but 20 other things against your bias and you won't believe it. So if this same exact story was about a Democrat, how quick would those guys believe it? Do you think they'd be like, well, I don't know, CNN's not a reliable source. It hasn't been confirmed. Has it been confirmed? I mean, it's been confirmed by everybody. His entire staff just quit. His campaign manager, deputy campaign manager, finance manager, senior advisor, they all quit. It's the most confirmed thing on planet Earth. It's definitely traced back to him. They're like, I don't know, I need do 2, 4, or 8 different confirmations. No, I don't believe it. If you said Tim Walz did it, they're like, I knew it, right? You say it about Kamala Harris. I mean, my God, I don't know what the number is, but it's a giant number. But I'll guess here, about a quarter of Republicans believe that Michelle Obama is a man. With no evidence at all, because Rando Bob on Facebook said it. They're like, oh yeah, I knew it, right? This guy's like, hey, he raises his hand and says online, I am a Nazi. They're like, I don't believe it. Okay, all right, just tell me that you hate the rest of the country and you will support anyone, including a literal Nazi, someone who literally wants to kill political opponents and literally wants to bring back slavery. You'll support that guy over a Democrat. And then you're talking about how we want to unite the country. No, you don't, brother. You're exactly the person who wants to divide the country.
It's also interesting to see them pretend like they care about sourcing and facts and accuracy on the immediate heels of the Springfield, Ohio hoax. That made it its way all the way up to Trump in the debate. And it stemmed from what I understand, based on Wall Street Journal reporting, an elderly woman not realizing her cat was in her basement and just recklessly accusing Haitians in her neighborhood. So it was that, then spread by bad actors and just honestly idiots online. They're just believing everything they see. In fact, someone took a picture from Reddit from several months prior to this of a guy who was cleaning roadkill off a road and said, this is a Haitian and he's eating your animals. And that spread like wildfire throughout the right. They had no problem accepting that as fact, but when it's inconvenient for them now, I don't know about CNN. Like Andrew Kaczynski is a great investigative reporter, but it's just inconvenient for them, so they can just point to accuracy and fairness and journalistic standards. You know, that thing we know the right cares about. But also to Michael Schor's work, he's so good at pulling these lines from people. I remember the supercut that you all made from his reporting at a Trump event several months ago asking, would you rather have 4 more years of Biden or dictator Trump for life? And they all said Trump. Just, they're laying it out there. We don't care about democracy. We don't care about elections. We don't care about our system. He's our guy. If he's going to be an authoritarian, I'm all for it. So credit to Michael Schor, but also that work is expensive. So becoming a TYT member is essential so we can get more interviews like that. If not, even just for the humor. It's very enjoyable to watch, and he does great work.
Yeah, and that you could do that through tyt.com/team. We'll have the link below. Look, last thing, and you'll see a lot of it on Rebel headquarters where Jordan is as well, let alone Young Turks on YouTube. And by the way, sometimes when they say the right things, we also show that to you. So, you know, there are things that we do have in common. And we all are living under the same economic situations. We're all living under corporate rule. We're all suffering under it, etc. So I'm not trying to make these guys look like they're the bad guys. But when you ask these simple questions, it's what Jordan just said is undeniable. They heard on a Facebook post that Miss Sassy was missing for a couple of days. Turns out the cat's in the basement. And half the Republicans, but I think maybe actually higher than that, believe that immigrants are eating cats and dogs because of the most random Facebook post, inaccurate one in history. And they're like, reliable source. The other side proves definitively that the guy's saying these things, and they're like, not a reliable source. Okay, you shut off your mind. There's nothing I could do for you once you shut off your mind. Thanks for watching the Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.